April 15th, 2021, literally 1 year ago to the day, WWE released over 100 men and women following WrestleMania 36 in the middle of a pandemic. This year, WWE went ahead and did the same exact thing. Why did WWE make talent cuts with rumors of more cuts being on the way? Why did WWE make talent cuts in a year where they're generating more money than they ever have any time before in WWE history? Who will be able to keep their names? Who will not be able to use their ring names? Where I think everyone is going to end up, and why this is not a bad thing for any of the men and women involved in this latest cut of releases. Also, I got major news on the return of Aleister Black. Do you believe WWE is ready to bring Black back to television, or is this life after WWE for Tommy End? Also, major news on when WWE will have live fans regularly in attendance, and will we get a two-night WrestleMania next year in Dallas for WrestleMania 38? All this, plus so much more. This is episode 372 of Off the Script. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is episode 372 for your Saturday, April 17th, 2021. It's a very chilly New York City afternoon. I'm wondering where the spring is. Enough of this 40, 50 degree weather. Give me my 70, 75 degrees. Give me a day where I don't need my hoodie, which I'm wearing right now because it's cold. It is cold. I can't stand it, man. I haven't felt like myself in what seems to be 2 weeks now. WrestleMania week was very, very excruciatingly long, and it was a week where I didn't get much sleep because I was worrying about content, and I had my mind on all these different things, and I'm still feeling the effects. I don't know how many of my podcast colleagues in the community are actually feeling the same way that I do, but I still am feeling that WrestleMania fatigue. And it seems like that it's going to continue because there's just a lot of content. There really is just a lot of content out there, a lot that needs to be covered. And I'm the type of guy that if I know that I have to do something, I'm going to do it. I can't take any days off because then that means somebody else in the community is going to leapfrog me, or they're going to get the views where I could have had those views or whatnot. I'm a very hardworking individual. I'm a very competitive individual, man. I don't want anybody to get the jump on me at all as far as content in the community. I want you guys to come here and make this the number one destination for everything that you need, whether it's Raw, NXT, AEW, SmackDown, pay-per-view, podcast. I don't want to take any days off. And then after WrestleMania was done, we had WrestleMania wrap up. Monday Night Raw was god-awful. God-awful. Then we got NXT on Tuesday. Then we got Dynamite on Wednesday. And it's like, holy shit, man. Thursday was legitimately the only day that I had to myself in what looked to be a week and a half of content. And then we get the releases. Then we get the releases. I'm on social media around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We start seeing all these names come through. Samoa Joe, Peyton Royce, Billie Kay, Bo Dallas, Mickie James, Mojo Rawley, etc., etc. And everybody's like, JD, you going to cover the releases, man? I got to get your opinion on the releases. I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't care. I really don't care, man. Give me a day, please, because then Friday, I got SmackDown and the Fallout show, the post show for WrestleMania on SmackDown. And then I got this podcast today. So we're going to go over all of the releases, everybody that was released. The most notable name is Samoa Joe, obviously. We're going to go over what happened, why WWE released them, why it's not a bad thing that they got released. It may be bad for some because some are, much worse off than others, but this should be looked at as a good thing. If you're a fan of these people, this should be looked at as a good thing. Why WWE did it, who is going to be able to use their names, who's not going to be able to use their names, and we got everything in between. And these types of stories, I'm glad I wait on, because there's so much news that comes out after the fact. Why do I want to initially react when I don't know anything? So we're going to cover it all today extensively, and I'm glad that I waited so you guys get the entire story about what happened with all of these releases, with rumors of more releases still to come, notably on the NXT brand. So we're going to go over that today on the podcast. I got news on Aleister Black. I got the ratings in for the first week where NXT and AEW were not going head-to-head. It benefited both, more so AEW. They did almost 1.3 million people on Wednesday night, with the highest rating coming in at a 1.4 for the Chris Jericho and Dax Harwood match. So the Wednesday Night Wars are no longer a thing. And now, believe it or not, like I said on Wednesday, the one thing I'm going to be keeping an eye on is how terrible Monday Night Raw is and how Monday Night Raw sinks lower and lower into the doldrums of fucking pro wrestling. How soon before AEW is generating more of a rating and more in the demo, the key demos, than Monday Night Raw? That's where my attention is going to be. And if Monday Night Raw sinks to those lower doldrums that we all know is coming, especially with how bad Monday's show was, is that going to light a fire under Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard's ass? I don't know. And I got news on Mauro Ranallo, man, the best play-by-play man in the business, and no one's even close. Mauro Ranallo is back with AEW, maybe. But he's commentating over Kenny Omega and Rich Swann, which, I don't know if you guys watched the press conference. We are guaranteed a winner. And we all know who that's going to be. And if Mauro is commentating over that match, with the guaranteed winner more than likely being Kenny Omega, is Mauro going to be the voice of the Forbidden Door? Man, my dream, my wish has been granted. Unbelievable. That's an instant buy for me on pay-per-view. Whether I got to go out and get Impact Plus or order it on Fight, whatever. Mauro's there calling that match, which we all know is going to be a barn burner. I'm there. Sold. So we'll talk about that, how that came about, and everything in between. But I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me here on episode 372. Today, sponsored by my boys over at Advanced GG, the number one esports and gaming supplement on the market. You guys want to be at your best. You guys want to play at your best. You want to be focused with all natural, organic ingredients developed by scientists. Then Advanced GG is for you. You guys are going to use the code SCRIPT for 10% off all of your purchases at advanced.gg. Go and get yourself some today. I know you guys are big into the gaming thing like I am. If you guys want to perform your best, if you stream like I do, whether you work out, maybe you go to school, you need some extra boost in studying, whatever, man. Whatever you need it for, it is there. I swear on everything I own, it works like a charm. I actually took some before this podcast today. I'm feeling ready to go, man. Ready to go. I actually had the strawberry lemonade Advanced GG Focus today. So it's awesome. Go and get yourself some today. Use code SCRIPT at checkout for 10% off. Follow me on social media. That's Twitter and Instagram at JD from NY206. I appreciate all the new follows, man. We are dangerously close already to 32,000 followers. There was a time where I was stagnating growing on Twitter, and I had no idea what the problem was. I honestly feel like with everything that was going on while Trump was president, I didn't grow. I stayed for like 2 years. I couldn't get above 31. Every time I'd get above 31,000 followers on Twitter, it'd go right back down. I didn't understand why. My impressions were up. My social media retention rate was up. Everything was up, but the followers weren't there. I don't know why. Now, all of a sudden, we're steamrolling all the way to 32,000 followers, so I appreciate all the new followers on social media. And if you do have Twitter, which many people nowadays don't really give a shit about social media, it's just cancer. It's a really negative space, but I use it primarily for work. If you guys are on there, you guys want my in real-time thoughts, Twitter is the place to be, at JD from NY206. Patreon.com/JD from NY206 is a great way to support the show. Baseball bat, beer mugs are still available, running out fast. I got about a dozen left, so make sure you guys sign up if you guys want yours. They're not sold anywhere at all. You guys want the Are We Live exclusive t-shirt. Again, not sold anywhere. You guys sign up annually for the Patreon page. Those two items could be yours with more to come, man. And I got some ideas brewing. My management team, Hoot Media, the one and only Hoot Media, who moderates the chat, along with my other great mods, Hoolagrim, and everybody there on the live streams. We got some great ideas coming, man. We got some glassware coming probably towards the end of the year. It's going to be awesome, man. Some new t-shirts. We're working on a possible just standalone website for all JD things regarding Off the Script. We're doing it big, man. I swear to God, I'm taking this brand to where it needs to be. And I got the layout. My boys over at Deviate Designs are continuing to work on the new layout. I think it's going to be really good. It's going to be really classy. You guys are going to see inside the venue. Man, it's so exciting to be part of this brand. If you're not, you're really doing yourself a disservice. So make sure you guys go and keep up to date with everything regarding Off the Script. Lots of cool stuff coming up. If you missed any of the videos on the channel, any of the live streams, we got Raw, NXT, AEW, SmackDown. It's all there, man. Make sure you guys go and check everything out. All the appropriate playlists are linked down below in the description of this very video. Go get your t-shirts right now, exclusively sold on bonfire.com. Go get your masks, mouthmasker.com/OTS. And make sure you guys, like I said, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell for all notifications and hit that thumbs up as well. Let's try. I want to set a goal. I really do. Set a goal. Let's try for 1,200 thumbs up on the video. Can we do that? Everybody watching, hit the thumbs up. It's free, number one. Number two, you're helping me out. So make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and let's get the ball rolling today on Off the Script. Let's start off light, man. Let's talk about WrestleMania. WrestleMania 37, 2 nights. I loved it. I didn't love the show. I loved some matches on the show. I didn't like the show overall. I thought it was a very disappointing WrestleMania, to say the least. We got night one, Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. We got Roman Reigns, Edge, and Daniel Bryan, which was the match of the entire weekend for me for the SmackDown Men's Universal Championship. 2 nights is great. I could easily digest WrestleMania when it's 3.5 hours, 4 hours. Now, WWE did a piss poor job building WrestleMania. WWE did a piss poor job at making some of the matches feel relatively unimportant at WrestleMania. The only things that they made feel important are Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair, Edge, Roman Reigns, and Daniel Bryan. That's it. Nothing else felt important. Everything else felt pretty rushed. I love the 2-night event. It just fits with the WWE model right now. WrestleMania is their biggest brand. So why not make it the biggest destination weekend of the entire year? Other than that, a two-night WrestleMania fits into the road to WrestleMania a lot better. Now, I'm not saying that women's matches need to main event every fucking year. In fact, there'll be some years where it really doesn't look like the women should main event a WrestleMania. They got lucky this year. They got lucky with Bianca Belair being as good as she is and Sasha Banks being legitimately the best female wrestler on the planet right now. They got lucky. With that type of match, it's easy to slide that into a main event spot. But if WWE wants, they could certainly do the women's match main eventing on Saturday and the biggest men's match main eventing on Sunday. So they could do that. The men's Royal Rumble winner main eventing on Sunday, and then the women's main event on Saturday, both being Royal Rumble winners. It fits into the model. And WrestleMania, nobody wants to watch an 8-hour WrestleMania. Nobody. Nobody wants to sit there for 8 hours of anything, let alone WWE programming. So why wouldn't you do a two-night WrestleMania? I would hope that WWE keeps the two-night WrestleMania and not go back to the original model of 8 hours per show. I don't know who could sit there. I mean, never mind sitting at home. You're there in the venue. Do you want to sit there for 8 hours? I know I wouldn't. That's why I haven't gone. Oh, but man, you got to go see a WrestleMania. It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. No, I don't want to sit and watch WWE for 8 hours. I mean, give me a break. I could barely last through Raw. And that's what it feels like. Some of these matches felt like I was watching Raw at a WrestleMania show. But I got the latest on whether WWE plans to hold a WrestleMania 38 show as a two-night event. WrestleMania 36 took place as a two-night event in Tampa. Or Orlando, rather, in the Performance Center. It was supposed to be in Tampa. This year's WrestleMania went back to Tampa. It was supposed to be at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. But due to the company not being allowed to have fans in attendance in California, it was moved to Tampa, Florida this year. So they got last year's WrestleMania redone this year. And it was supposed to be a one-night show. WWE changed the course and made it a two-night show. So it was 2 straight years where WrestleMania was a two-night show. WWE confirmed earlier this year that WrestleMania 38 will take place on Sunday, April 3rd, 2022 at AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas, while WrestleMania 39 goes down on Sunday, April 2nd, 2023, and that will be in SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. Having WrestleMania held over the course of 2 nights have fans split, as some like it and some don't. I'd love to find out who these people that don't like it are, because I think they're a bunch of fucking idiots. Really. Why would you opt for a one-night show over a two-night show? Some WrestleVotes tweet went out earlier this week and noted that the current plans call for WrestleMania 38 to be held on one night. And normally they get their shit right. So if they're saying it, more than likely it's going to stick, because they've been pretty right for the majority of the time during this WrestleMania season. They say, and I quote, "Now, the weekend is behind us. Nearly everyone I've spoken to regarding WrestleMania had positive things to say. Aside from the weather, everything went smooth. The 2-day event was viewed as a success, but plans still remain for one single night next year in Dallas, Texas." Now, WrestleVotes, like I said, usually gets these things right. And that's not the first that I've heard of WWE going back to the original model of one night. I just don't understand it. I think the show flows better. I think it's better for the talent. I think it just makes everything a little bit more equal. It's more fun to book a 2-night show. It really is. It gives everybody a certain day to be spotlighted instead of being buried in the middle of an 8-hour show. You know, it just flows so much better. Yes, it's an added day for us that have involved ourselves in making this our livelihoods and our jobs, but I don't mind it. I don't think you guys mind it either. I mean, I love it. Revenue-wise, I love it. WrestleMania did great. Combined 2 nights, off the scripted, over 160,000 views. And then over 4,300 likes. And the growth of the channel was fantastic. It was easily the best month that I've ever had in every aspect. So I don't want to see it go away from a 2-night event just based on my personal analytics. I would rather a 2-night event in every aspect, YouTube-wise, analytic-wise, comfortability, right? I want to just go into a 2-night show, 3 hours, 3.5 hours max on Saturday, 3.5 hours on Sunday, and get it over with. I think the one thing that actually killed all of us this year was a 2-night NXT. We didn't need a 2-night NXT. We didn't. You could do NXT TakeOver whenever you want. Why does it need to be in the middle of WrestleMania season? You moved away from that. We didn't get one last year. Why did we get one this year? Especially being at 2 nights, where everything on that show legitimately, some of it could have been omitted, and you could have easily did a 1-night show at 4 hours. Why did we need 2 nights? I'm hoping that was just a Peacock thing to introduce people. Sign up for Peacock. But we didn't need a 2-night NXT. We don't need 2 nights NXT ever. WrestleMania is different. NXT's moved away from piggybacking over the main roster major pay-per-views like Rumble, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Survivor Series. They are now standalone shows on their own Sunday. Keep it like that. I think what killed us was the 2-night NXT. I really do. But I think a 2-night WrestleMania is what is best for business. Maybe things change. Maybe they stay the same like WrestleVote said, but I don't know, man. He usually gets his shit right. So I'm expecting that we go back to a 1-night WrestleMania next year, even though I am completely opposed to this ideal. I really am. 2 nights is where it's at. Speaking of fans in attendance, WrestleMania had fans, over 50,000 fans for both nights. WWE's planning live attendance again this year for SummerSlam. Now the company has plans to have fans in attendance for SummerSlam, which is their second biggest pay-per-view of the year. Justin Barrasso of Sports Illustrated reported that WWE is expecting to have fans in attendance for SummerSlam 2021. This has been the belief amongst most fans, considering SummerSlam takes place in August, which by then, the hope is that the majority of the country will be vaccinated, and SummerSlam is one of the big 4 pay-per-view events of the year. Some people consider it the second biggest WWE show of the year. Some people may look at the Royal Rumble being the second biggest show of the year. Either way you look at it, SummerSlam needs fans. The company is yet to confirm a date and a location for the show. WWE President Nick Khan has gone on record, no relation to Tony Khan, by the way, has gone on record by stating that once WWE's back on the road, they want to tour on a full-time basis rather than doing one-off events with a live crowd. Currently, WWE plans to air their weekly television shows and the next few pay-per-view events from the Yuengling Center in Tampa, Florida. Now, fans are not allowed to attend these shows inside the Thunderdome. It should be noted that the WWE's lease with the Yuengling Center ends this upcoming August. Before the pandemic started, WWE had plans to hold last year's WrestleMania at the TD Garden in Boston. Obviously, the 2019 SummerSlam was the last installment of this pay-per-view theme to have fans in attendance from Toronto's Scotiabank Arena in 2019. Now, WWE having fans at SummerSlam is pretty much a done deal. I do not see at all WWE not having fans in attendance for SummerSlam. The thing is, will Boston be the plan for SummerSlam, just like WrestleMania was the plan for Tampa last year? WWE gave Tampa WrestleMania this year, and are they going to go about doing the same thing for Boston? Boston last year couldn't have SummerSlam, so are they going to do SummerSlam this year where they couldn't hold it last year? I don't know. All I know is WWE, they got some thinking to do, because if you want to attend SummerSlam this year and you want to be a part of that show, I don't know if it's the right idea to have SummerSlam outside in the middle of August in Florida. I don't know who's going to want to sit there, man. You'll be like a Titus baked potato after a couple of hours. Probably less than that. 40 minutes. Unreal. Nobody wants to sit in an outdoor venue in the middle of August in Florida watching pro wrestling. Nobody. And I can't imagine that being good for the in-ring performers as well. Heat exhaustion and all that shit that comes along with it. They're the ones performing. You're the one sitting. Can you imagine how they feel? Give me a break. WWE needs to be in an indoor venue for SummerSlam. Air-conditioned, comfortable for the fans, comfortable for the performers. I don't know where it takes place, but Florida, August, heat, humidity, not really the ideal situation there. So we'll see what happens with that. But WWE will have live fans next at SummerSlam. It's pretty much a guarantee. I do not see them not doing that. So we'll see what happens with that. I'll keep you guys posted because if it is in Boston, I'd love to go. I'd love to go, love to hold a meet and greet and do all that stuff. I was actually in the process of doing that when it got canceled last time. So maybe we'll have some fun this year in Beantown for SummerSlam 2021. Speaking of pay-per-views, WWE makes changes to Backlash and Money in the Bank. WWE is already preparing for their next pay-per-views, but they changed those plans rather quickly after WrestleMania had concluded. Now WrestleMania Backlash is the next pay-per-view in line. I don't really like the WrestleMania name tagged onto Backlash, which is theoretically a D-level pay-per-view nowadays. Backlash, they presented some damn good fucking shows back in the early inception of the show, but not current WWE. I'm sorry. Attaching the WrestleMania name to it only devalues the WrestleMania name. The more you do that, it only devalues the WrestleMania name. Anything that you associate WrestleMania with that's not WrestleMania is going to devalue the name. WrestleMania edition of SmackDown devalues the name of WrestleMania. Making believe and putting out there for public relations reasons that Saudi Arabia shows are bigger than WrestleMania or equivalent to WrestleMania. No, they're not. No, they're not. Quality may be the same, but it ain't WrestleMania. There's only one WrestleMania, and putting WrestleMania and tagging it with Backlash doesn't really do any good at all either. Now, Backlash and Money in the Bank originally had different dates. Money in the Bank was supposed to be on May 16th, with Backlash taking place on June 20th. The company switched that around, and now Money in the Bank has not been announced. It will presumably still happen in June, but that has not been confirmed. Wrestling Observer Radio and Dave Meltzer called attention to this situation. Meltzer says, and I quote, "The pay-per-view was going to be Money in the Bank. Now it's going to be WrestleMania Backlash," end quote. Drew McIntyre will get his rematch at the WWE title against Bobby Lashley. Money in the Bank, nobody knows what's happening there. We'll see if WWE places their yearly Money in the Bank pay-per-view as a standalone pay-per-view on its own next month. Last year's briefcase, speaking of Money in the Bank, went to Otis. Otis had it for a long time before The Miz won it, took it over. He cashed it in. They gave it right back to him. Complete disaster was the Money in the Bank briefcase. The women's briefcase was won by Asuka, but then it had the Raw Women's title in it as Becky Lynch relinquished the title the next night on Raw due to her pregnancy, and she went on hiatus. Another dumb move, but that's WWE for you. Listen, my feelings on all of this are, I don't give a fuck what you do with Backlash. Just get rid of the WrestleMania Backlash tagline. It doesn't fit. With Backlash, the thing is, WWE tagging the WrestleMania name along with it, you know, a lot of people are thinking, oh, well, that's cool, right? That's cool. Look at WWE tagging the WrestleMania name to it. It's going to have some importance to it. No, not only did I tell you it devalues the WrestleMania name, but why do you think WWE is using this WrestleMania Backlash tagline? All it says to me is that WWE is fucking lazy and they don't want to be bothered with booking new, fresh feuds, highlighting new talent, moving forward, writing for new talent. They don't want to be bothered with anything new, exciting, and fresh, which should definitely come following WrestleMania. WrestleMania is seen as a conclusion to a lot of different things. The night after WrestleMania is the proverbial reset button. That didn't happen. We got nothing but the same shit on Monday night. And WrestleMania Backlash is going to be the same shit because WWE refuses to write new, fresh, and engaging storylines. They are lazy. WrestleMania Backlash means, hi, I'm a creative writer. I don't give a fuck. We're going to give you WrestleMania rematches. That's all it says to me. Money in the Bank, I don't know why we're still in this. Money in the Bank needs to be its own pay-per-view. You've done nothing with the concept. You've watered down the concept so much, especially with Otis getting it, and then The Miz getting it, Miz cashing it in, getting it back. You've watered down the concept so much that the value of the briefcase is the same value as the 24/7 title. Who gives a shit? Why are we still acting like Money in the Bank is a big thing? It's not. WWE doesn't value the Money in the Bank briefcase. WWE hasn't valued any performer enough to take the briefcase seriously. Nobody gives a fuck. Look at the last 3 years of Money in the Bank. It is a 12-month storyline that gives WWE more than enough time to book something cool and exciting. Now you're going to use the excuse of, oh, there's no fans in attendance to really give the Money in the Bank briefcase that big pop, that cash in, the big pop. So get rid of it. Get rid of it. How many things changed with the pandemic? Why does that remain? Money in the Bank should have been used at WrestleMania this year. WWE had nothing on the road to WrestleMania as far as build for the show is concerned. Instead of putting everybody in a fucking battle royal that didn't even take place at WrestleMania. Took place in a fucking Thunderdome with no fans while you kept all those guys off of WrestleMania. Why not give the best of that field, Money in the Bank qualifiers, put them on the WrestleMania card in a 6-man ladder match, have qualifying matches which will make just a little bit of Raw and SmackDown that much more interesting and give those segments some meaning on shows that otherwise have no fucking importance whatsoever. Put the Money in the Bank briefcase and the ladder match on WrestleMania, giving those guys who might not be in an active storyline going into WrestleMania something to fucking fight over. And it would have been in front of fans, which would have given the match that much more life instead of doing this shit in an empty Thunderdome. Why do I have these ideas? Why is it so easy for me? And that's exactly what I would tell everybody if I was sitting in that boardroom at that table with Vince McMahon and his fucking bags under his eyes looking right at me. This is what needs to be done. Why do you have these concepts and you act as if you don't know what the fuck you're doing with them? Backlash, WrestleMania Backlash, WrestleMania rematches, Money in the Bank. Who gives a shit? Briefcase is worth nothing. Start taking your ideas and rebuilding the importance around them. God, it is so easy, and they refuse to do it. Mauro Ranallo, I got some Impact news. Backstage news on Mauro Ranallo's deal to commentate the Impact Wrestling headliner at Rebellion. The Impact World title and the AEW title will be on the line. Kenny Omega will be going up against Rich Swann in a champion versus champion match. Ranallo is easily, by far and away, the best play-by-play announcer in the entire world, in modern history. They brought him in to call this one match. Just this match. Not the show. Just this one match. Meltzer reported in the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter that the idea behind bringing in Ranallo is to make the match special. Great. I love it. It's the best idea that Impact probably ever had. But is it an Impact idea? It is stated that Anthem made the deal with Frank Shamrock to bring in Ranallo, who signed the deal on April 14th. He will also do voiceover work for 2 video packages to build a match and host a documentary called This Is Rebellion that will air next week. Ronaldo has worked for WWE in the past. He did work on SmackDown, and he did do NXT work. He was the heart and soul of NXT. He's currently calling boxing for Showtime and MMA for Bellator. Impact holds Rebellion on Sunday, April 25th. Now, I heard conflicting reports. This report says it was Anthem to bring in Ronaldo. I heard that it was Tony Khan's idea to bring Ronaldo in for this match because it's going to be a big deal. With Ronaldo being brought in for this match, 2 things I think are going to happen. Number 1, Kenny Omega is going to win the Impact World Championship, and the Forbidden Door storyline is going to be accelerated, and we're going to be moving forward with it. The belt collector, I'm assuming, is going to be Kenny Omega's new deal moving forward. And he can't obviously do that without the Impact World Championship, which right now Impact and AEW have a partnership going on. It's kind of straight off a little bit, has become a little bit uninteresting. Nothing really major has happened. I think AEW is waiting for an abundance of fans to get back to their venues before they move forward with this thing. And I think Impact is kind of aware of that as well. But with Ronaldo being brought into this thing, not only is it going to make the match a match of the year candidate, it may be match of the year, period, with him calling it. This will be the only match up until this point that Ronaldo was called in pro wrestling since he left NXT to take care of his mother, which I hope she's doing well. He's bringing his voice to make this match important. Kenny Omega more than likely will win the championship because he has to. And with Ronaldo calling that, I have a feeling that the importance of Ronaldo's voice over that is going to make it a bigger deal and really kickstart the Forbidden Door storyline. And I think AEW having Ronaldo call this match for Omega, I do think that his inclusion is going to be a regular thing for AEW programming when the time calls for it. If there was one thing that I wanted Tony Khan to go out there and do and really make a statement with, that would be to go out and get more Ronaldo for AEW television. I'm not saying necessarily Dynamite, but I'm saying bring Ronaldo in to have him a part of the product. Jim Ross is not going to be around forever, okay? Mauro Ronaldo is eventually going to replace Jim Ross. And if AEW wants to keep Jim Ross on commentary, and he's able to do it for many more years to come, AEW is going to have another show, whether it be Thursday night or Saturday night, whenever they get that extra TV time on TNT. I'm not talking about Dark. I'm not talking about Dark Elevation or Dark. I'm talking about the other TNT programming to go alongside Dynamite. Ronaldo would be perfect for the voice of that show. And if you want to bring in Ronaldo and give Jim Ross the nights off on pay-per-views, bring Ronaldo in to commentate on the pay-per-views because his voice is going to take a good show and make it a great show. His voice is going to take a bad show and make it a good show. His voice is going to take a great show and make it a fantastic show. Mauro Ronaldo takes those things that don't feel important and he makes it feel must see. This is absolutely the best news in all of pro wrestling for 2021. I don't even watch Impact. I will be there on the 25th watching this show. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who's booked on the show. I don't care. That's how much of a fucking impact Mauro Ronaldo makes. Someone like me is the perfect example. You're going to go out there and get that guy? I'm going to watch your show. Simple. This is an unbelievable get for not only Impact on the 25th, but potentially for AEW moving forward. That's where Tony Khan's money needs to go. WWE Releases. It's about that time, folks. WWE had another round of releases 1 year ago to the day on Thursday, April 15th. I was on social media. I was browsing Twitter, and all of a sudden I see one name, then another name, and another name, and it was just an influx of talent. And I'm like, please, can I just have one day off where absolutely nothing happens. Nothing. Please. I want to move away. Meanwhile, this is just an avalanche of bullshit coming down upon me. WWE released several wrestlers. Samoa Joe, Bo Dallas, Chelsea Green, Mickie James, Kalisto, Tucker Knight, Peyton Royce, Billie Kay, Mojo Rawley, and Wesley Blake. Those are the names that were released. Rumor has it that more names are going to be released in the coming days, specifically citing NXT. I know a lot of people are wishing Velveteen Dream gets released. Not sure that's going to happen, but we'll see. There's a reason why WWE released these superstars. And according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, John Laurinaitis, people power. I sound like John Laurinaitis with the voice I got after 10 days of live streaming. John Laurinaitis, who just recently returned to a position with talent relations, was tasked to make these difficult phone calls. The reason he apparently gave everyone was budget cuts. Budget cuts. John Laurinaitis was in charge of telling talent that they were being let go and saying that it was due to budget reasons. Those recently released WWE superstars do indeed have a 90-day non-compete clause in their contract they can sign with another pro wrestling company on July 14th. It is interesting that WWE cited budget cuts after a year where record profits were accumulated, but the reason is they were reportedly giving these superstars, the axe because they were citing budget cut reasons. That's the reason why they were let go. Now, there was another report citing that WWE actually lied to superstars about not being on the chopping block. Fightful Select and Sean Ross Sapp reported that word made its way around WWE backstage a couple of months ago that there would indeed be cuts following WrestleMania. Multiple people among the cuts asked about whether they would be released, and they were told that they would be fine. And that turned out that it was not the case at all. They cited, and I quote, multiple people among the cuts had inquired about whether or not they would be on the chopping block and were told they weren't going to be among them, only to be cut. Another wrestler reportedly summed up everything by saying, it's just an annual reminder that this is a company and not a family. So we'll have to see if WWE releases any more superstars this week. The NXT brand is expected to see some releases sometime next week. Folks, before I even get into the names of these people and what I would do with them and where I think they would go, it is incredibly tone deaf that WWE used these men and women, lied to them, released them on the same day in which WWE last year did the same thing with over 100 men and women, a lot of talent and office personnel included, citing budget cut reasons. It's incredibly tone deaf. They don't give a fuck about anybody's well-being. They don't give a shit about anybody's family. They don't. This is WWE's own fault. This is their own doing. They've signed so much talent, and their creative is so terrible that all of these talents just sit around month after month, year after year, and before you know it, their lives and their career and their best years are being wasted. It is incredibly tone deaf of WWE to do it on the same day that it happened last year and then look at some of these names and just think what could have been. What could have been. WWE last year was in record profit for the company. Record profit, even in the middle of a pandemic, and even then with eliminating live gate attendance. They were still in record profit numbers. Then turn around this year, WWE is making more money this year than they were last year. They had the Raw deal, they had the SmackDown deal, they had the Saudi deal. Now they add the Peacock deal. Another $1 billion, cool $1 billion. And you mean to tell me that you couldn't keep these men and women on the roster? Never mind keeping these men and women on the roster, but using them, using your creative team to come up with ideas for all of these men and women to make the product better, to make the product fresher, to make the product not seem so utterly dull and boring and soulless and lifeless. You mean to tell me you couldn't find anything for these people to do? Now, I understand it's a business. Don't get me wrong. I understand it is a business. I'm not a complete tool. I get it. Some people don't even blame WWE for letting half of these people go. I'm in that camp. I don't blame them for letting Mojo Rawley go. Who the fuck is Mojo Rawley? He sat around for years not being utilized. To me, that's dead weight. But it's also on WWE to creatively book and get them on television, develop characters, and really build around these types of guys. You gave Mojo Rawley a 5-year contract to do what? Sit in catering and eat green beans and mashed potatoes and whatever else the fucking company's bringing on in. Give me a break. That's not Mojo's fault. That's WWE's fault. In the fans' eyes, you're going to look at Mojo Rawley as a fucking waste of payroll. In WWE's eyes, you're also looking at it from a fan's perspective like you could have done more with him. You could have done more with anybody on this list. I don't know many wrestling companies that have let people go in the middle of a pandemic. Only WWE let people go. Now, granted, Impact and Ring of Honor, MLW, they don't have the resources, the funds like WWE does. But that goes to show you that they don't go out and frivolously spend on talent that they're not going to use. Those companies didn't let anybody go in the middle of a pandemic, and they're not making anywhere close to the amount of money WWE's making. AEW barely let anybody go. I think the only one that they really let go were the people that they weren't using that had travel restrictions. They just cut ties with them for now. Who's to say that they don't come back? I think the only one that they really let go was Jimmy Havoc because he got ousted in the speaking out movement. Other than that, I don't really know who they let go, completely severed ties with, ended their contract with. But WWE is letting all of these men and women go, and they're making more money than ever before. Yes, the moral reasons behind it may sound shitty, but you also got to take into consideration the business reasons why WWE did it. Yes, I don't blame WWE, but at the same time, I absolutely blame WWE for it. 100% I blame WWE for it. Samoa Joe. How do you let Samoa Joe, of all the men and women on this list, how do you let Samoa Joe go? I mean, if that is not a company that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, I don't know what is. You mean to tell me that you look at somebody with the talent and ability of a Samoa Joe and you can't find anything for him to do? Anything. Granted, the man was injury prone. We don't know the full nature of the story with Samoa Joe. This guy worked for you, busted his ass, came to work every day in the middle of a pandemic with coronavirus raging on multiple occasions through the roster. Showed up to work, did the best out of any color commentator not named Corey Graves. You had him on that show every fucking week. He put Byron Saxton to shame. He was better than Tom Phillips, because I always appreciate the wrestler's point of view because he gets it because he's in the ring. He's going to give it to you how he would see it if he was in the ring, give you a different perspective on it. Came to work in the middle of a pandemic when more than likely he didn't want to show up to work. Did his job great. And then you let him go. The last that we saw of Samoa Joe was in a goddamn fucking piece of plastic in the middle of a thunderstorm on night one of WrestleMania. That was the last we've seen of Samoa Joe. That's the last image you saw of Samoa Joe on WWE television. I don't get why you would let him, of all these people, go. You mean to tell me you couldn't, even if he couldn't wrestle, you mean to tell me you couldn't have this guy do something for your company? A manager, an advocate for some new up-and-coming talent with the promo ability of Samoa Joe to get some new talents over? You mean to tell me this guy was not good enough to maybe put down in the Performance Center and train younger talent? Who the fuck wouldn't want to learn from Samoa Joe? As if he's got nothing to offer. Now, again, we don't know the nature of this release. WWE cut him from commentary for no reason. I got news on that a little bit later. For no reason. WWE might have been in a position where Joe was let go from this commentary position because Graves is on Raw now with Saxton and Adnan Virk. Where's Joe going to go? What is Joe going to do? Maybe he went to management and say, listen, I'm ready to go. Put me back in the ring. Maybe WWE said, you know what? No, we're not going to let you go. We're not going to clear you. We don't think you should be in the ring anymore. Who the fuck are you to tell Samoa Joe, if he thinks he's ready to go, and more than likely he was, not to put him back in the ring? Who are you to not put him back in the ring? Unreal. Samoa Joe is going to be a fucking gold mine for anybody that gets him. And again, if I'm Tony Khan and I see this guy out there and he's floating around and he's free on July 14th, I'm calling this motherfucker up on fucking July 14th as soon as 12 midnight hits. Hey, yo, Joe, let's discuss. I mean, he's going to AEW. He's showing up in AEW. This guy is going to be a legit threat in AEW. And WWE is going to regret letting someone like Samoa Joe go. Now, WWE doesn't give a fuck clearly about any of these talents or where they go. But if you don't think Samoa Joe's going to make an immediate impact wherever he goes, you may be the dumbest fuck in the industry. That's a mistake. That is a fucking mistake. This guy should have been WWE champion a couple times over. Everything that you put him in, he excelled at to an unreal level. That release pissed me off. And good for him. He's still got a lot of years left in the tank. He's going to bring any company he goes to a major asset. It's unreal. That one boggles my mind the most out of all of them. All of them. Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas has not been used. I don't even fucking know how long Bo Dallas has sat in the back. I don't. The last I heard was that WWE used Bo Dallas in a test match at WrestleMania before the live crowd was allowed to enter Raymond James Stadium. A test match for what? I don't know. Somebody photographed him leaving the arena. There were rumors going around that he was actually the Fiend and playing the Fiend character, and Bray was actually not in the Fiend costume. All debunked, all bullshit. But Bo Dallas has sat around and done nothing to a point where he's got his own family real estate business. He's living with Liv Morgan. They're dating. They're a couple. They own a farm. They got this real estate business. They got plan B for life after pro wrestling. Good for him. Good for him. WWE did nothing with Bo Dallas. They always looked at Bo Dallas as being a joke. They paired him with Curtis Axel. They named them the B team. That's legitimately the last we've seen of Bo Dallas. And now Bo Dallas, he's gone. They finally let him go. Again, it doesn't surprise me because they didn't do anything with him. But like Samoa Joe, I don't know how you are a creative writer and you don't find ideas to get guys like this on the show. You don't think Raw and SmackDown could use an influx of fresh fucking characters? Do you people that run these fucking shows realize how boring and bland these shows are? You mean to tell me out of all these fucking people, you could put any of these people on television to make the show feel new and fresh? You couldn't find something for Bo Dallas to do, willingly knowing he's related to Bray Wyatt? You couldn't put him in the funhouse. You couldn't make Bo Dallas a part of the act. I don't get it. I don't really understand it. Even when Bo Dallas was there and Wyatt had the Wyatt family, he would have fit perfect in the fucking Wyatt family. What a joke. What a joke. Chelsea Green. What a fucking shit show this has been. She's on NXT. They call her up for no fucking reason. She gets injured in a match that she should have never even been a part of. WWE put her in a match and had her slated to win. I don't even remember what it was for. I really don't. All I know is that she broke her wrist. Again. Why was she there? Oh, we got Chelsea Green on the roster. Let's put her in the match. No vignettes, no build-up, no nothing. No nothing. She goes into this fatal four-way match that happened on SmackDown, breaks her wrist, rehabilitates the comeback. She's tweeting about potential storylines moving forward with Mickie James being an obsessed fan. And now she's gone. Now she's gone. Why did you pull her up from NXT if this was the outcome? I don't understand you. Chelsea Green is going to get, I don't know where she's going. She could end up in Impact. I have no fucking idea. I don't know where Matt Cardona is working majority of the time. Probably Impact. He'll probably go and, she'll probably go and join him in Impact. But if you don't think Tony Khan is not on the phone with Chelsea Green on July 14th, that is another woman that can make an immediate impact. Can you imagine Chelsea Green and Mickie James? And Mickie James in the AEW Women's Division? You take a semi-decent division that's being rebuilt right now, and you make it a great division. Can you imagine Britt Baker, Hikaru Shida? You get Red Velvet and Jade Cargill coming up to where they need to be. You got Chris Statlander, Thunder Rosa. Then you bring in Chelsea Green. You bring in Mickie James. Jordan Grace is going to be a free agent. You bring in Jordan Grace. We're talking about a complete overhaul. Mickie James and Chelsea Green will take the women's division in AEW from decent to, oh my God, what are we doing here, man? Tony Khan is an old school mind. You don't think he's going after Mickie James? You don't think he's going after Mickie James? What a joke. Chelsea Green, why wasn't she used in WWE? I don't fucking know. Who knows what these fucking idiots are thinking, man? For all we know, they realize that Matt Cardona is engaged to Chelsea Green and she got buried because now he's working for somebody else and trying to achieve happiness. We still got his wife here, so we're not going to do much of anything with her. I don't understand why, back to the original question, why she was even fucking demoted to the main roster. Why? Unreal. Mickie James, I don't know why WWE even brought her in. WWE uses some of these women and some of these men for name value only. The last time we seen Mickie James was on commentary for NXT TakeOver. She was doing the pre-shows. She seems so happy to be there. You mean to tell me, even with Chelsea Green, I don't want to say everybody, even the men here, Bo Dallas, Samoa Joe, you couldn't bring them back down to NXT. You want to let them go? You want to let someone like Samoa Joe go when you could put him in NXT? Imagine Joe versus Cross. Joe versus Ciampa. Joe versus Walter. You couldn't find anything for this guy to do. No, it goes back to the original reason that I always say and bring up in discussion. You think WWE is going to take somebody that's been kind of affiliated with the main roster and put them back down on NXT, knowing that WWE fucked up their run on the main roster, only to see Triple H use them the way that they've always should have been used better. Triple H would take care of them better. Triple H would kind of resuscitate their career. You think Vince and Bruce and Dunn and all those fucking geeks up there want to see that happen? They'd rather release them than send them back down to Triple H because they know Triple H is going to make them all look like a bunch of hacks, not knowing how to do their fucking job. Same thing with Bo Dallas. You couldn't find anything for him to do in NXT? Revitalize his old gimmick? Tweak it a little bit? Chelsea Green couldn't go back down to NXT? NXT's got the best women's division on the planet. You couldn't find room for Chelsea Green in that women's division. Mickie James, same thing. Now they're going somewhere else. Joe, Green, and James, I could absolutely see all going to AEW. Kalisto. It's another guy. Kalisto might not have been the best promo. He might not have been the best talker in the business, let alone WWE, but if you don't think Kalisto had any value to you whatsoever, you are a complete fucking idiot, man. Can you imagine Kalisto joining AEW? Now, I'm not saying all of these men and women need to go to AEW, but imagine Kalisto in AEW. Matches against Omega. Matches against Rey Fenix. Matches against Jungle Boy, Darby Allin, Pentagon, Pac. Maybe he joins Pentagon and Rey Fenix. Maybe he joins Death Triangle. I just don't see how you take Kalisto, and not only Kalisto, the Lucha House Party, and not use them to the best of their ability. The Lucha House Party was in NXT for the Tag Team Dusty Classic, I believe, weren't they? Why were they not involved with Legado del Fantasma? WWE always gets the cruiserweights and buries them for some reason. They don't know how to book the cruiserweights, the Lucha Libre side of things. They don't know how to book it. You got Legado del Fantasma in WWE, and they want to reshape Lucha Libre in their own image. And you mean to tell me you got Lince Dorado and Gren Metali with Kalisto, who are fantastic at what they do, on that roster, and you don't take that and feud the Lucha House Party with Legado del Fantasma over Lucha Libre? You don't take Kalisto or any of those guys and feud them with Santos Escobar of the Cruiserweight Championship? I said the same thing about Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. What are they doing on the main roster? What is Dominic doing on the main roster? NXT should have been his home. He should have gone after the first title that his father made famous. What a fucking waste. That's going to hurt Lince Dorado and Gran Metalik. They're not doing anything with those guys. They weren't even affiliated the last I remember. But what do you think that means for them? Kalisto, gone. Gone. Didn't he just sign a new contract with WWE? Didn't he just sign a new contract? I believe he did. And they let him go. That doesn't bode well for those two guys either, because when there's another round of cuts, maybe next year, WWE seemingly is making this an annual thing. Maybe WWE lets those two guys go as well. Tucker Knight, what a fucking waste. You know, Tucker Knight and Otis was a very popular tag team. In a day and age where WWE doesn't have many tag teams or legit tag teams, teams that look like teams, Tucker Knight and Otis looked like a badass combination. Their NXT run was short-lived, and I don't know why they were brought up to the main roster when they were. I don't know how you could take a legit tag team like this and break them up, knowing that the value of both are greater together than it is apart. WWE mismanaged their money in regards to Tucker Knight. You were paying this guy week after week after week after week to do what? You broke him up to have him sit in the back, and you were willingly paying him instead of putting him in the ring with Otis, tagging Heavy Machinery together to be a solid act on the main roster. What is the difference between Heavy Machinery and the Street Profits? They seem similar to me. They're both tag teams. They look like tag teams. They both are charismatic teams. Why is one team still together and thriving and the other is not? Why did you take Otis from a tag team to make him a single to put him back in a tag team when you knew all along that Otis's value was greater in a tag team? Fuck this company. Fuck this company. Seems like they had either A, something out for Tucker Knight, or B, they just fucking hate tag team wrestling. I don't know. I can't find anything wrong with Heavy Machinery. I can't. It was a legitimate, great, big man tag team. Otis, he had his spots. Was he sloppy? Sure he was. But he's learning. The Otis that we got now is the best Otis that we've ever gotten. Tucker Knight was for a guy his size, he was agile. You can't find a tag team division for these guys to thrive in? I don't get it. I don't understand it. It is unreal to me. If I'm Tucker Knight, I'm pissed. He even went on social media and said that Heavy Machinery was broken up for no reason. No reason. WWE, they either did it, A, because they hate tag team wrestling, which we all know that they do, or B, it was a Triple H idea. It was a Triple H team idea. And WWE was like, hey, yeah, fuck it. Let's get rid of it. Otis is the moneymaker there. Tucker, get this guy out of here. They didn't give a shit. He sat in the back while he was shadowing Otis, and they were pushing Otis. He had nothing to do. How do you feel if you're Tucker Knight? How? Good for him. Good for him. Where he goes, I don't know. He may end up in Impact. New gimmick, new lease on life, just getting in that ring and doing what he was put on this planet to do. Fuck WWE. Fuck him. Mojo Rawley. I was never a big fan of Mojo. I don't want to see anybody lose their job, but I was never a big fan of Mojo Rawley. This guy was a one-trick pony. He had no gimmick. He had really a cringe personality. It was nothing that I was interested in seeing on WWE television, but they signed this guy for 5 years to ultimately do nothing. Ultimately, they paid this guy willingly out of their pockets to do nothing. So if you guys didn't see this one coming, I don't know what to tell you. Same thing with Wesley Blake. Soon as Steve Cutler was gone, Wesley Blake was as good as gone. But Jackson Ryker still remains. But Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler don't look like Jackson Ryker, so that's why Jackson Ryker is still hanging on in the Elias Act. Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler now are going to be over in Impact. That's where I see them going, and they're going to be right back to where they were in WWE, in NXT, under a new name, under a new gimmick, and they're going to be reunited as a tag team because Steve Cutler is dating Deonna Purrazzo. She's probably going to have her boyfriend there, and Wesley Blake is going to come over, and they're going to be a tag team once again. I could absolutely see it happen. And good for Impact. They were a great tag team. The gimmick was a little, But if you don't think those guys worked well together, July 14th, Impact. That's what I think is going to happen, and they're going to get a damn good tag team over there on Impact. The two names that seem to be making the most noise, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay. I don't really have much to say about this because I thought they were both terrible. I really did. They embodied everything that was wrong about the direction in which the women should be trending. Everything that they were a part of, a match, a segment, a promo, they brought it down. The gimmick was garbage. The gimmick was cringe. Billie Kay is one of the worst professional wrestlers on the face of the planet. Peyton Royce was no better, but better than Billie Kay. I did not get anything about these two. I do not get the infatuation with the IWC as it regards Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. I just don't get it. I found them unfunny. I didn't laugh. They were not endearing. It was complete garbage. Garbage. Now, I don't know them. They might have brought smiles to everybody in the locker room, but that doesn't really mean anything to me. You know them, I don't. I only know what I see on television, and what I saw on television was not good at all. Was not good at all. I don't understand how this is the same thing as Tucker Knight. How WWE broke up Peyton Royce and Billie Kay knowing that they were both trash individually. And they minimized each individual act the way that they did by splitting them up, knowing that they were stronger together, only to take Peyton Royce and pair her with Lacey Evans for months. Then have Peyton Royce go on Raw Talk and cut a promo about this and being overlooked and how she's better than 98% of the women in the back. Billie Kay on SmackDown, she was looking for a new tag team partner with this fucking cringe resume gimmick. She ended up teaming with Carmella at WrestleMania in one of the worst matches of the entire fucking calendar year at WrestleMania 37 on night one. You split them up knowing that they were stronger together, only to split them up and put them, or try to at least put them in different tag teams. I don't understand that. Who comes up with that and thinks it's okay? I don't have anything to say there. It's the same thing as Tucker Knight, knowing that Tucker and Otis were stronger together. You take them away from each other only to put Otis in another fucking tag team. Peyton Royce, she was very good and on the up in NXT. Very good. I don't know what happened. She was definitely a promising act. Billie Kay, I never seen anything in Billie Kay. I'm sorry. Billie Kay was an embarrassment to all professional wrestlers. She was horrendous. But Peyton Royce, if you couldn't find her and want to work with her and make her better, if you didn't find anything in her look, and you didn't really understand the growth that she was going through in NXT to really sit down and kind of mold her into something, then that's another missed opportunity. That's another missed opportunity. Billie Kay, I don't think Billie Kay had any value whatsoever. So this release doesn't bother me at all. In fact, this is actually beneficial to WWE because everything that she was a part of was that much more worse when she was there. Could she have been a valet? Sure. Sure, I don't care. We've seen a glimpse of that and nothing came of it but trash. But WWE legitimately with these two, especially Billie Kay, is cutting the fat. There's nothing there that is going to benefit you in the long run. What could they do? The things that they need to do, they can't. And the things that they are good at, if they're there or they're not there, it's not going to make a big difference to WWE television. Nobody was watching the shows because of the Iconics. Nobody was watching the show because of Peyton Royce and Billie Kay. You got to understand that there are things and times in these situations where you got to just cut payroll. It's not working out. Put your fandom aside and realize that they were not good for television. They were not going to make anybody in the ring better. They were not going to make championships better. They were not making shows better. So what exactly are you upset about? The fact that they are now out of a job? There's AEW, there's MLW, there's Impact, there's Ring of Honor. Shawn Spears is a part of AEW in a faction with MJF. You don't think Peyton Royce is going to go join her husband and be better off for it, potentially? Where Billie Kay goes, I don't know. I could see her on Impact Television doing the same fucking thing. Honestly. I could see her on television asking and taking this resume gimmick, going around and around and around and asking women on the roster if they need help. And then she comes across Scott D'Amore and he gives her a job. I could see her absolutely on Impact Wrestling. But to think that they're going to be a huge missing blow to WWE television, shut the fuck up, man. Shut the fuck up. This is actually a positive for WWE. And it's a positive for both Billie Kay and Peyton Royce if you really looked at it the way it should be looked at. Now, Billie Kay, there was a situation with Billie Kay. She issued a statement, which I will get to in a second, but Kevin Dunn kept Billie Kay down, according to reports, reportedly did not get her act. According to Fightful Select, Kevin Dunn just didn't get Billie Kay. He even said that he saw a ceiling for her in the company. This likely led to her not gaining any traction, despite the fact that she was gaining fans. Billie Kay was loved in the WWE locker room. Kayla Braxton dropped a heartfelt tweet about how much she will miss having her around. Alexa Bliss even commented to agree with Braxton about how much Kay will be missed. That didn't change Kevin Dunn's opinion on Billie Kay. Listen, I shit on Kevin Dunn more than anybody in the community on this very show alone. I don't get Kevin Dunn and all his fucking camera cuts. I don't get Kevin Dunn and his ideologies on what works and what doesn't work in WWE. The guy's got a job for life because he's Vince McMahon's personal dick licker. He saved some tape library back in the day, and he's got some fucking job for life. Great. I don't give a fuck about Kevin Dunn, okay? I don't care. But it is very difficult for me to sit here and not agree with Kevin Dunn. I agree with Beaver Fuckface. I agree with the Bucktooth Beaver here. He's right. She had a ceiling. If you were going to go out there on social media and blast Kevin Dunn for saying that he saw a ceiling in her, Kevin Dunn's assessment, though maybe shit the majority of the time, was 100% accurate in this occasion. That's it. She had a ceiling. You fucks are too blind to see it because you either thought Billie Kay was hot or Billie Kay was funny. Billie Kay sucks. Sorry to fucking reveal the truth to you. She sucks. That's why she's out of a job. If she wasn't bad at her job, she may still be there. She released a statement, Billie Kay. Thank you, WWE, Vince McMahon, Triple H, for the past 6 years. They have fulfilled my dreams entirely, from being a 10-year-old girl that fell in love with WWE from the moment I saw The Rock on TV, and now I'm walking away with so many incredible moments, from Super Showdown in front of my friends and family to winning the tag team championships at WrestleMania, which, by the way, Billie Kay's release, Peyton Royce's release, is vindication and validation for everything that Sasha Banks felt was wrong about them winning the tag team championships. She said, I wouldn't mind if the tag team championships went to somebody and they followed up on it. Did they follow up on it? Was it the right creative decision? No, it wasn't. Sasha Banks walked away from WrestleMania and WWE after that moment. Bayley and Banks lost those titles to take a hiatus and go on sabbatical to clear her mind. And she was vindicated with them being released because it was pretty much WWE telling Sasha Banks, you know what, Mercedes, you were right. You were right in everything you felt. We fucked up. Sasha Banks knew it was wrong then, and it's even now more wrong, with Sasha Banks being more right than ever before. Thank you to every single person in both locker rooms and everyone I had the pleasure of working with behind the scenes. I love you all and will never forget your support and all the crazy stories we have together. I will all miss you so much. Thank you to all the fans for inviting me into your lives. I hope I made you smile and laugh. That's all I ever wanted to do. I'll never forget all the kind words and memories we've had together over the years. Thank you to my family for always supporting this crazy dream and sacrificing so much for me to achieve it. I honestly wouldn't have gotten to where I am without you all. You have my entire heart. And thank you to my life partner, Cassie. Our journey together started, and it's only fitting that it ends together. I love you. I'm beyond proud of you, and I'm with you forever. Lastly, thank you to everyone that reached out to me today, knowing that I affected people's lives in a positive way means the absolute world to me. And that's what she said in closing. Signed off, Billie Kay. Peyton Royce also issued a statement as well. She says, and I quote on Twitter, although my heart is in need of some repairs, I must send out some thanks to Mr. McMahon and Triple H for allowing me the opportunity to work for you. I have loved every moment of it, and I will cherish my memories at WWE for the rest of my life. Some of my wildest dreams came true under your roof. I cannot thank my wonderful fans enough. You all fuel my passion and my soul. I'll never be able to thank you enough for your love throughout the years. I wouldn't have had these opportunities without you. To all the women and men I've shared the ring and locker room with these past 6 years, thank you. All of your texts these past 24 hours have meant the world to me. I will miss your great minds, our memories, but mostly our friendship. I'm so grateful to have met you all. You've made me a better person. My hope is that I have made my country, my family, my friends back home proud. If so, I feel success in that. Without their support of me chasing my dreams since I was merely 10 years old, I couldn't have done it. My husband has been my absolute rock and my guidance through all my journey here. I'm so lucky to have his love and support. Baba, thank you for believing in me. My vision, for supporting my crazy ideas, always making me feel like I can accomplish anything my mind desires. You make my life whole. This chapter of my life has finished, but I know in my heart I am not done just yet. This really is just the beginning, and I'm excited to get to work on the future. That's what Peyton Royce said. Chelsea Green issued a statement. She says, and I quote, I've made once-in-a-lifetime memories at WWE. I didn't do everything I set out to do, but I'm proud of what I've done. Can you say you were in the Royal Rumble for 14 seconds? I'm proud of that fact, that I never took no for an answer, even after 4 tryouts and a reality show. I'm proud of the fact that I came back stronger every single time I was knocked down or broken arm. Although it's been a few years, nothing has changed. I'm still that girl. Tomorrow, I'll get up, dust myself off, start my next journey. I'm taking back control. I'm refocusing on what I'm going to do and what I've always set out to do, make a name for myself. It's been a short and sweet WWE universe. I'll see you on TV 10. That's the way she signs off. Mickie James was very vocal about wanting to wrestle in WWE. According to Fightful Select, Mickie James made no secret about the fact that she wanted to continue to wrestle. She was vocal backstage about her desire to lock it up in the ring. Sadly, WWE felt otherwise. Of these wrestlers, Fightful's been told that Mickie James has been vocal backstage about her desire to continue wrestling. And like I said, the last time we seen her was on commentary during the pre-show for TakeOver Stand and Deliver. She will end up in AEW, no question about it. And the reason why I think Mickie James was buried was because I honestly think Bruce Pritchard took it out on her because of his back and forth several months ago with Nick Aldis. I really do. And for Bruce to get back at somebody like Nick Aldis, knowing that his wife is on the active roster, that's exactly what I think happened there, because Bruce is a petty fucking bitch. He's a petty bitch that is nothing but a cancer to that entire locker room. So Mickie James will end up, for the last couple of years of her career, doing what she wants to do, and that is wrestling and helping younger women, mentoring younger women. And AEW is in dire need of that. And finally, Samoa Joe was medically cleared. News on whether he was medically cleared at the time of his release. Fightful is reporting that they were told by the talent that word emerged this week that Joe had expressed his desire to wrestle as of late, but he was not cleared by WWE. That is the latest on Samoa Joe there. So he wasn't cleared. They took him away from commentary. He wasn't cleared. He wanted to wrestle, and they let him go. Best to cut ties with Joe and cut that payroll and keep him on the payroll when you took him away from the one job that you gave him, and you're not going to let him wrestle. So he maybe asked for his release and they gave it to him. We don't know. The nature of Joe and his release is not known at this time. But that seems to be the accurate description of what happened with Samoa Joe there. All I'm going to say is this. These moves, these releases, with more to come, rumored, everybody that was released will end up in a better place. Everybody that was released is going to bring a valuable asset to whatever company they go. Not Billie Kay, but every company that gets a Samoa Joe or a Mickie James or a Chelsea Green, Tucker Knight, Wesley Blake, Steve Cutler, they're going to be better off for it. They're going to be doing what they want. Creative freedom is going to be a thing now, whereas it wasn't. They're going to be happier, healthier, and they're going to be doing what they love. Not under the control and not under the handcuffs of fucking Bruce Pritchard and Vince McMahon. this should all be looked at as not a bad thing, but a good thing. Stop worrying. Your favorites are going to be just fine. All right, man, it's time to get back at it here on episode 372 of the podcast. I had to take the AEW hoodie off. I was sweating my balls off. It got hot in here. It gets hot and heavy in here, man, when I rant about something that I'm passionate about. We just talked about the WWE releases this week. But I once again want to thank my sponsor for today's show, man, Advanced GG. You guys know me for being energetic and live every single week here on the podcast. And there's a great reason why I'm so energetic on these shows, man. My tag team partner, and we are tag team champions in the IWC, man. Believe me, that is Advanced GG. All you guys have to do is go to advanced.gg and use code SCRIPT at checkout for 10% off. Go to their website. They got a plethora of flavors up there. The majority of them are delicious. If there's one thing I know about my energy drinks, man, sometimes they don't taste as good. Advanced GG has no problem about tasting good, man. It is delicious. You guys want hydration, endurance. You guys want reaction time to be on point. You guys want an extra boost of energy. No matter what you're doing. It could be doing something like I'm doing, podcasting, working your daily 9 to 5, going to the gym. You guys need an extra boost of energy while studying for that big exam coming up. Advanced GG has got you covered, man. All natural, developed by scientists, natural caffeine from green tea extract, no sugar. That's the biggest part of it all, man. No sugar. It helps me. I live by it. Coffee doesn't work for me. Energy drinks don't work for me, man. You get that terrible crash at the end of it. Advanced GG, I felt nothing but energy. I feel great. There's no terrible come down. This is it, man. Go get yours today. I got the cotton candy one. My favorite's the mango. My favorite is the mango right now, man. And the kiwi limeade, I believe. Awesome stuff. Go get yours today. Advanced.gg. Use code SCRIPT at checkout to save 10% off. And please support them because you'll be doing me a solid right here on Off the Script. Post-WrestleMania SmackDown dips below 2 million viewers. And it's not difficult to see why, man. It was a boring show. Outside of, once again, Roman Reigns. If Roman Reigns wasn't affiliated with SmackDown, SmackDown would be just as bad as Monday Night Raw. Last night's SmackDown dipped below 2 million. This is the SmackDown after WrestleMania. That's a terrible fucking sign, man. That really is. According to the overnight numbers released by Showbuzz Daily, SmackDown on Friday, April 16, averaged 1.997 million viewers. That was down from the go-home show, the SmackDown that they were dubbing WrestleMania SmackDown. That did 2.080 million viewers on April 9th. In the 18 to 49 demographic, the show averaged a 0.5 rating. SmackDown was topped by Blue Bloods and Shark Tank. The show drew a 0.6 rating in the 25 to 54 demographic, trailing Blue Bloods, MacGyver, Shark Tank, 2020, and Magnum PI. Hour 1 did a 2.001, and Hour 2 did a 1.992, with both hours doing a 0.5 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic. The top most viewed SmackDown videos coming out of last night's show are Roman Reigns disrespects Cesaro. That got roughly about 730,000 views. Cesaro versus Jey Uso, which was the main event, 553,000 views. Profits throwing a party for Bianca Belair, 292,000 views. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, 254,000 views. And Rey Mysterio versus Otis comes in at 221,000 views. Keep an open mind about the Roman Reigns and Bianca Belair segments, because I got a news article coming up that is completely ridiculous, and nobody's going to believe what I'm about to read to you. Internally, what WWE is feeling about both storylines. Bianca moving on with Sasha and Bayley, and then Roman Reigns. I'll fill you guys in on that in just a second. SmackDown, quick results here. Rey Mysterio defeated Otis. The Dirty Dogs defeated the Street Profits to retain the SmackDown Tag Team title. So it realistically should be no more for the Street Profits. They seem to be done. I think the Dirty Dogs move on to Mysterio and Dominic. Booyaka, booyaka. 619. Cesaro defeated Jey Uso in the main event by DQ because of Seth Rollins. A very good match, which was ruined by a outside interference. As always, Natalya defeated Shayna Baszler. You might as well stick a fork in Shayna Baszler. She is done. Done. What a joke. And Bianca Belair's championship celebration. Bayley wants a shot at Bianca Belair. Sasha Banks seemingly has nothing to say about Bianca Belair celebrating. She was angry, upset. No words were said, seeming like Sasha Banks is going heel in the not too distant future on SmackDown, which would be a good thing because Sasha Banks is always better as a heel. SmackDown sucked. SmackDown was very lifeless and boring, like Monday Night Raw. I don't know why. Outside Roman Reigns, there's nothing interesting on that show whatsoever. SmackDown, one big change. If you guys watch SmackDown, Pat McAfee is now the color commentator for SmackDown, replacing Corey Graves as he moved over to Monday Night Raw. I'm not a big Pat McAfee guy. I didn't really like his inclusion in NXT. I thought it deviated away from everything that NXT really is. I think NXT got desperate in the war against AEW to use Pat McAfee's audience to bring his audience to their show because they thought that him feuding with Adam Cole was going to be some big deal. The match was fun. The match was great, actually. And it really shocked the shit out of me. But I know Pat McAfee is talented. I know he's in tune with the WWE product. I know he's charismatic. He could cut a better promo than half the fucking roster. He knows his shit. He knows his shit. It was announced earlier in the day that Pat McAfee was going to be the new color guy on SmackDown. And I looked at this and I'm like, I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. There's a reason why WWE put him there. I don't really understand why Samoa Joe had to be let go and why they give a big money contract to Pat McAfee instead of using Samoa Joe, moving him over to SmackDown. He could have did probably an even better job than Pat McAfee. All the while maintaining Samoa Joe on the WWE payroll and keeping him a part of the WWE product. I guess they thought this was a better idea. But the reason why it was done is because WWE, Fox, is looking to even branch out more into the mainstream. He's a Hall of Famer. He's regarded as one of the best punters, if not the best punter in all of NFL, or when he was active. And he's got a big audience for himself on his side of things, and he's going to bring that over to WWE. They look at this as a big mainstream, or as big of a mainstream act that they could get to fit into that role. And he did a fantastic job on SmackDown. I got to admit, if you're going to replace somebody with Corey Graves, or you're going to replace Corey Graves with somebody, I should say, you're replacing Corey Graves with somebody who's basically like Corey Graves. He's outspoken, he's charismatic, he's witty, he gets it, he knows the product. He's not a fucking, shill on commentary. They're going to allow him to have a lot of freedom. And I knew that right from the get-go because he was standing up in the middle of the tag team match. He was standing up, I believe, after the tag team match on SmackDown. I don't believe we watched something that great on this show on my first night. And he was hyping up Rey Mysterio. I never seen a 619 done in person before. That's genuine. That's genuine. And I think him and Michael Cole, after a couple weeks of getting kind of affiliated with each other, it's going to be a great duo. It really is. And WWE is actually going to allow a lot of freedom for Pat McAfee. According to Sports Illustrated, the company plans to let Pat McAfee be himself to a great extent. They realize the personality that he brings to the table, and they don't want to overproduce him into changing up his style. Through the world of pro wrestling, especially WWE, obviously things could change. The current plan is to let Pat McAfee be himself on the air and avoid overproducing him. He will also continue to work on his other projects, including his podcast, while serving as one of the premier voices of SmackDown. Now, not everybody gets that bestowed upon them. It's such a political fucking game in WWE. Did they allow Mauro Ronaldo to do that when he was the lead commentator on SmackDown? That's why he was removed. JBL bullied him. He couldn't take Vince McMahon. They actively tried to change Mauro. He stepped away. Triple H was like, I can't let this guy go. You're fucking crazy. So he brought him to NXT. He let Mauro be Mauro. But they tried to change him on the main roster. because he sounded better than everybody. Vince wanted him to sound like everybody else. So why is that bestowed to some and not the others? It's about who they like and who they don't like. Morrow is just as charismatic, if not more, than Pat McAfee. So why would you take the best at his job, the best in his profession, and try to change him? What makes Morrow different than Pat McAfee? I don't really understand it. It sucks. I fucking hate it that they allow some people to do what should be done for the majority of everybody and allow them to do it and keep handcuffs on everybody else. I don't really understand it, but that's the direction for Pat McAfee. I thought he did a great job. I thought he did a great job on Friday night. Looking forward to seeing him more on SmackDown. Remember when I told you to keep those YouTube numbers in mind for Roman Reigns and Cesaro, Bianca Belair, and the championship victory? Backstage reaction to Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks at WrestleMania 37. Now, it was the second best match of the entire WrestleMania weekend. Number one goes to Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, and Edge, okay? Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair had a great match, very worthy of a main event. I thought it was fantastic. Will it go down as one of the biggest wrestling matches in WrestleMania history? No, it won't. Will it go down as one of the biggest matches, best matches in women's wrestling history? No. There's so much others. There's so many other matches out there that I would put ahead of that. I get the significance of it. I get the importance of it. But I think people kind of went above and beyond when it really didn't deserve it. Honestly, people love to just take what they get now and make it the best ever. Oh, it's the best ever. Oh, it's the biggest ever. Oh, it's the most important ever. People just say things to fit a current narrative. It's fucking ridiculous. The match was great. I'll leave it at that. It's not the best ever. It's not the greatest ever. Give me a break. A lot of people get lost in this greatest ever, best ever, most important ever storyline narrative, okay? Because that's what's pushed on social media. But the backstage internal reaction to Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair, according to Sports Illustrated, the internal reaction behind Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks' WrestleMania match was so great that it is now regarded as the top program on SmackDown. This puts Roman Reigns' current storyline as Universal Champion in second place internally to WWE management. Internally, Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks is the single biggest narrative in WWE, with the work of the Universal Champion Roman Reigns a close second. Why? How? This is ridiculous. That is what your priority focus is going to be on, Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. I'm not saying that it shouldn't be. I'm just saying that the numbers prove otherwise. The overall vibe of the show prove otherwise. You should be booking Bianca and Sasha better because what we got during WrestleMania season sucked. You're lucky you had two great performers in that ring doing what they did in the main event of Saturday's WrestleMania 37 on night one. But to say that it's bigger than Roman Reigns, that is the dumbest thing I've heard all week. That's the dumbest thing I've heard all WrestleMania season. Nothing is bigger than Roman Reigns, especially on WWE television. Not Sasha, not Bianca, not the women's division, not the SmackDown Women's Championship, not Rhea Ripley's Raw Women's Championship and what's going on over there with Asuka and Charlotte Flair. None of it. None of it is bigger than Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, whether you agree with me or not, quite frankly, I don't give a fuck because I'm the one who's got the fucking podcast and I'm the one who's right. Your opinion means nothing to me. Roman Reigns is the single biggest entity, the single most important entity to his fucking brand in all of WWE. He's the biggest heel in pro wrestling. And he's been the most important figure in all of pro wrestling since he aligned with Paul Heyman. And I'm not saying this because I'm a big fan of Roman Reigns. Just watch the show. The numbers prove it. The numbers prove it. People aren't watching SmackDown to watch Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. People watching SmackDown to watch Roman Reigns. People are watching SmackDown to see what Roman Reigns does next, and that's only going to continue to grow and grow and grow, because the more his reign grows, the more you're going to want to see him lose. Who's he going to lose to? Who's going to be the next to step up and challenge the tribal chief? People aren't watching because of Sasha Banks and Bianca. If Roman wasn't there, SmackDown's ratings would be in the fucking toilet. If Roman wasn't there, SmackDown would be as bad as Raw. So please, tell me how internally Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair is more important than Roman Reigns and what he's doing with the tribal chief gimmick. What a joke. If that doesn't fit a fucking narrative, I don't know what does. Take a step back, and this is why the company sucks. Their priorities are all fucked up. Roman Reigns is the biggest thing in all of WWE and should be treated as such. If you want to make Bianca and Sasha number 2, by all means, make them number 2. But the reason why people watch SmackDown is not because of women's wrestling. People watch SmackDown because of Roman Reigns. Simple, folks. It's not that difficult to figure it out. Backstage spoiler on Aleister Black. PW Insider reports that WWE's been filming promos this week ahead of Black's return to TV. Black hasn't been seen since being drafted to SmackDown last year, and his disappearance from WWE TV came around when his real-life wife, Zelina Vega, was released from the company. Dana Brooke, mind you, was drafted ahead of Aleister Black. Titus O'Neil was drafted ahead of Aleister Black. Some don't forget, folks. Some don't forget. These promos are said to be about Black's childhood, so it looks like they're going to add some layers to his character. Black was one of the names that Paul Heyman was pushing when he was the executive director of Raw, but that push was halted when Heyman was relieved of his duties. Based on the latest reports, it looks like WWE will make an effort to push him at least for the short term and hopefully the long term. There's no word on a return date for Black, but it appears that his return is imminent. What he does, I don't know. Where he goes, I don't know. Does he show up on SmackDown? Does he show up on Raw? If you want to make Aleister Black into a babyface, I could see him targeting Apollo Crews. If you want to make him a heel, I could see him targeting Big E. I could even see him go over to Monday Night Raw. If you want to keep him a heel, I could see him challenging Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. Seriously. If you want to make him a babyface, I could see him challenging Sheamus for the United States Championship. There's a couple of options there, whether you want to keep him heel or babyface. What do I think he does? I don't know. If you guys go to his Instagram page, you could see the vibe of the promos. It doesn't look like a babyface promo. It doesn't. I don't know. Maybe it ends up being a sympathetic figure because if they're talking about his childhood and how he was neglected and he had a rough upbringing, people may sympathize with that. I have no fucking idea. And plus, we're in the Thunderdome. WWE is going to make him whatever they want to make him. It's not going to be fans dictating the vibe of Aleister Black. So we don't really know. This could all be a waste of time. WWE could be doing this and then promising him one thing and then take it away and then not push him and then keep him off TV. We don't know. We don't know what the fuck they got planned. Things change like that in WWE. You could be seeing this today, and next week it could be irrelevant. But the guy's too talented to be kept off TV. And it makes me wonder why you got all these fucking people sitting in the back. Buddy Murphy, Aleister Black, Ricochet. I mean, what are you doing? Why aren't you releasing those guys? They clearly don't want to fucking be there. You got these men and women on the fucking roster. You're not using them. Use them to make the show different. The same fucking rematches every week. They operate on their own time. You don't have time. The shows are so fucking terrible, you don't have any time. You're losing audience every single week. Now is the time to start creating new stars, putting those stars on TV that you've already neglected for months. Start writing good television. Doesn't take a lot. You either want to do it or you don't. Clearly, WWE is showing you they don't want to do it. But Black, hopefully, is back. In fact, I hope Black doesn't come back so he goes somewhere else because he's not going to be anything in WWE. If they were this negligent with Black the first go around, what do you think is going to happen? Vince is going to see it. Just like Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. He's going to see it. It'll last a couple of months. He'll win a championship. He'll get bored. Goodbye. Back to catering you go. I wish him the best. I really do. WWE had creative plans for Becky Lynch to return at WrestleMania 37. As per Ringside News, which has had many reports confirmed by the likes of Dave Meltzer and Fightful, WWE did indeed have plans for Becky Lynch to return. The creative team had prepared for Becky to return at WrestleMania 37, but it was decided that Lynch's return was better saved for another time. I don't know what time is better than WrestleMania. This didn't stop Lynch from teasing WWE fans all weekend, posting haikus of night 1 and night 2, giving a statement for each letter in the word. On social media, the man had the last laugh after her absence. On night 2 of WrestleMania 37, Rhea Ripley won the Raw Women's Championship from Asuka, who was the successor to Becky Lynch. On Raw, a returning android attacked Rhea Ripley, demanded an update via her firmware, and made a claim for the AEW. Monday Night Raw, who gives a fuck? They're both worthless. Raw Women's Championship. Listen, this report is fucking ridiculous. WWE is ridiculous. We're gonna save Becky Lynch for a better time. Oh, Vince, we should save Becky Lynch for a better time. I don't think WrestleMania is the right time there, man. That's exactly the verbiage that I hear in the back in my head. There's no better time than WrestleMania. When are you going to debut Becky Lynch? It's either now or SummerSlam. If she's ready to return, I don't know why you couldn't have Bayley do a ding-dong, hello, and then Becky Lynch ride on a fucking four-wheeler and crash the entire fucking show. Right there on the stage, have Becky Lynch run the door over. She's going to SmackDown anyway because her boo is over there. Would have made for a great return. At least people know that Becky is now back. She's going to be back imminently. You would have gotten that big return with fans out of the way. Instead, you would rather hold her off for a Thunderdome audience with virtual geeks and losers and virgins on the screen. Wearing their WWE titles on SmackDown and on Raw, acting like a bunch of low-life fucking idiots. Oh, look, I'm on the Thunderdome. Yeah, that's exactly the best part of Becky Lynch coming back, right? In front of people like that, not making any noise as you push a button and we get Becky chants, right? Go fuck yourself, WWE. You fucked up. Now, you had no choice but to wait until SummerSlam for Becky Lynch to come back. It's April, May, June, July. Oh, you got 4 months to go there, Bruce. They held back on Becky Lynch. Now you gotta wait till August. How do you feel about that? Not like WWE television is gonna flourish with Becky Lynch back. It all sucks, whether she's there or not. AEW Dynamite. They go unopposed on Wednesday night. Ranked number 2 on cable and top 1 million viewers. Who would have seen that coming? I guess Mike Tyson is a ratings draw, huh? Fuck me. AEW ranked number 2 for the night on cable. Show was up in total viewers in the 18 to 49 demographic. This was the first show to not go up against NXT since last year. As noted, NXT moved to Tuesday nights. I got their ratings in a bit. Dynamite drew 1.219 million viewers, which is up from 688,000 viewers the show did the week prior. In the 18 to 49 demographic, the show did a 0.44, which is up from a 0.28. Folks, I'm not saying that Dynamite is going to be actively ready to compete with Monday Night Raw, but I'm going to compare the Raw ratings here to AEW. The demographic for Monday Night Raw was a 0.69. That still weighs off. And that was a Raw after WrestleMania, okay? Monday Night Raw's demographic usually is hovering around a 0.55. SmackDown's was a 0.5. AEW did a 0.44. Does that not get WWE in panic mode? Again, I'm not saying that AEW is going to actively be ready to compete with Raw and SmackDown, but the competition between NXT is not there. It will never be there. NXT is not that strong to compete with AEW. Monday Night Raw is not as strong as it once was to keep AEW from growing. WWE's product is fucking garbage. AEW's product hasn't been all that good either. It's been quite stale, and I think the creative has dropped off several months now. I don't think it's as great as it was. Maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe Tony Khan is waiting on all these grand ideas when fans get back in attendance and he gets out of Daly's place. I don't know. But if they're doing a 1.2 for this random taped episode of Dynamite, what do you think Blood and Guts is going to do? You think Blood and Guts is going to top Monday Night Raw? Certainly seems like it. Their version of War Games with Chris Jericho involved? Stop taking Dynamite to be a fucking half-ass show. A lot of people think the creative, which it is, has fallen off, but that doesn't mean that it's not a big powerhouse juggernaut on TNT. It certainly is. That's the ratings comparison I'm going to be looking for. Never mind NXT, SmackDown, and Raw, and what the demos are on a normal week, not following WrestleMania. 1.219 million viewers. Episode featured Mike Tyson acting as a special enforcer against Chris Jericho and Dax Harwood. Tag team titles were on the line as well. We'll go over the results here in a second. AEW ranked number 2 on the top 150 shows on cable. AEW and TNT are thrilled, I assume, about these numbers. They're better for both. NXT didn't lose here. NXT won as well. AEW doing what they got to do. They're going to take this and build upon it. Keep people invested. Keep people coming back. That's your job now, Mr. Khan. NXT won here too. They were drawing 650,000 viewers. Normally. When it wasn't TakeOver, Stand and Deliver, that did 750,000 views. Should have been more than that. Should have been closer to 1 million on USA Network. But they were up. Both shows won here. If you don't see that, get your mind out of the fucking gutter, man. Stop being an idiot. So they ranked number 2, 0.44 in the 18 to 49. Another thing I want to pinpoint here, viewers 50 plus, 0.50. When they went up against NXT, that was in the 2s. They always came below NXT. So this is awesome. Male viewers 18 to 49, a 0.55. 0.55. Do I have the SmackDown numbers, rather? 18 to 49 is 0.5. NXT doesn't do that at all. SmackDown did a 0.5 in the 18 to 49 on a post-WrestleMania edition of SmackDown. AEW 18 to 49 male, 0.55. Those are the numbers you guys got to be interested in here. That is unreal. You don't think WWE's worried? I would. I would be. AEW just comes off a lot cooler. Dynamite results. Bucks. The Young Bucks, the newly turned heel Young Bucks, defeated Pac and Rey Fenix in a great tag team match. Retained the AEW tag team titles. Meltzer gave it 5 stars. I don't know if I'd go that far, but bias in pro wrestling sucks. Darby Allin defeated Matt Hardy. Main event was fucking marred by goddamn interferences that didn't even matter. Retains the TNT Championship. Too many interferences on this fucking show every week. Too many goddamn factions. Chris Jericho with Mike Tyson defeated Dax Harwood. The ratings were above a 1.4 for the conclusion of that match. Jade Cargill defeated Red Velvet in what was a very good showcase for both women. And Chris Statlander made her return after 9 months off, defeating Amber Nova in the other women's match of the night. NXT ratings on Tuesday night, 805,000 live viewers, which is up from 768,000. That was the TakeOver night 1 for WrestleMania week. In the 18 to 49 demographic, the show did 0.22. That's fucking bad. AEW did a 0.55 and a 0.44 respectively in those 18 to 49 demographics. With males, NXT did a 0.26 in the 18 to 49. Viewers 50 plus, 0.40. So AEW actually beat NXT in the one demographic that NXT always beat AEW in when they went head to head. NXT ranked number 8 in cable, coming in number 8 for the top 150 shows for the night. Karrion Kross addressed the WWE Universe about his championship win over Finn Balor. Who's next? I have no idea. Kushida defeated Santos Escobar to become the new Cruiserweight champion in what I thought was a shocking title change. Santos Escobar defeated Jordan Devlin in the ladder match on night 2 to retain that championship. This match was unadvertised, and it was an open challenge, which gave Kushida the title, and he now is going to be challenged by Jordan Devlin. What Santos Escobar does, I have no idea. Isaiah Swerve Scott really transforming himself into a nice heel character, nice heel persona, defeated Leon Ruff. Mercedes Martinez defeated Jessie Kamea, and Shotzi Blackheart. Thoughts and prayers go out to her family for losing her father this week. Ember Moon, Bronson Reed, and Dexter Lumis defeated The Way, Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, Austin Theory, and Indy Hartwell. It was a big 8-person mixed tag team match. Not really a big fan. Not really sold on this Dexter Lumis being humanized deal, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully it is going to result in Dexter Lumis winning the North American Championship after he finds out that Indy Hartwell was nothing but a conniving bitch. And she had the back of Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae the entire time. That was NXT. If you guys want my full-fledged thoughts on these podcasts with news and rumors, Tuesday, NXT Live every single week from now on. I was there solo on Tuesday night. AEW, I was there with Jesse. So make sure you guys go and check both of those reviews out. You guys can see them right there with the links that popped up on the screen. Raw ratings, top 2 million. You get a little golf clap from me, Bruce. A little golf clap from me. It'll be back down to a 1.7 next week when they realized how terrible this show was. According to Showbuzz Daily, the episode drew a 2.026 million viewership on USA Network. That is up from the 1.7 the show did a week ago, but it was post-WrestleMania week. It was the Raw After Mania. This was the WrestleMania 37 post show, and it was the highest rated episode since Legends Night back on January 4th, which did a 2.128 million viewership. To compare to last year's episode, because I got to go back and listen and watch the fucking the ratings here, 2.118. The show somehow seemingly continues to go down, and that was in an empty gymnasium. The 18 to 49 demos saw 0.69, 0.71, and 0.65 in the 3 hours. The hourly breakdown was a 2.091 in hour 1, a 2.125 in hour 2, and a 1.862 in hour 3. Monday Night Raw was fucking garbage. Trash. Bobby Lashley squashed Matt Riddle. Made no sense. Rhea Ripley and Asuka went to a no contest for the Raw Women's title because of the android coming back. Her promo, by the way, was absolutely nauseating material, Charlotte Flair. Miz and Morrison defeated Damian Priest as The Miz pinned Priest after coming off a successful Damian Priest Bad Bunny collaboration at WrestleMania. The Miz pinned Priest in his fucking boxer shorts. There you go. Damian Priest on his way to being buried in WWE. The Viking Raiders returned, defeating Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. The New Day got a win back in the tag team column against a team that not really is a team. Jackson Riker and Elias. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler defeated Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke via countout. When Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke said, you know what, fuck it, Nia Jax slipped off the apron and they backed away, thinking that they would take that as a victory instead of actually getting the legit victory over the tag team champions. So if they don't care about winning a match, I don't care about watching them. This is the state of Monday Night Raw, folks. And then Drew McIntyre defeated Randy Orton and Braun Strowman to become a number 1 contender for the WWE title at WrestleMania Backlash. We got Monday Night Raw coming up with a first-time ever match of Randy Orton versus Braun Strowman. Man, I can't wait. That's your main event for Raw. All I'm hearing right now, it's Saturday afternoon, I'm hearing nothing but remote controls changing the channel. Monday Night Raw saw the debut of Adnan Virk He's the new play-by-play man on Monday Night Raw. Why is he there? Who asked for these changes? What was it, Vince McMahon? No. According to Wrestling Observer, WWE President Nick Khan, no relation to Tony, spearheaded the change on Monday night by bringing Virk into the company. Virk has a lot to learn about pro wrestling, like the names of the moves and the nicknames and feuds and what's going on. His first week saw him largely carried by Corey Graves and Byron Saxton in that department. The move to have Virk join the commentary team was spearheaded by Khan. Virk was clearly inexperienced in calling wrestling and didn't add much at all to the 3 hours of Monday Night Raw, which was one of the worst Raws of all time. He came out at the start of the show and said that Saxton and Graves would be carrying him on this evening. WWE has the ability to make changes whenever they want. I don't know why this was a necessary change. Something more is going on with Tom Phillips. I gave this guy a shot. I'm going to continue to give him a shot, give him a month or two, see what happens. If he doesn't get better, then I'm going to go back and reassess my original opinion. And then I'm going to state, you got to bring back Tom Phillips or bring somebody in that knows what the fuck they're doing. He's got a great commentary voice. He sounds genuine. He sounds like a play-by-play guy. But if you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, then I don't want to listen to you. He's never called combat sports in his life. He's an MLB analyst on the network, MLB Network, and he worked for ESPN doing baseball. This is completely different than doing combat sports and wrestling. So this is going to be a fail for Nick Khan. If he's the one who spearheaded this thing and he fails, then Nick Khan is going to be the one to blame. And it goes to show you that Nick Khan himself doesn't have experience about the overall WWE product and the necessity of these shows, the needs for these shows. Of all the things on Monday Night Raw, that was the one thing you needed to change? Joe, Tom Phillips, and Byron Saxton? Tom Phillips is very good at what he does, whether you like him or not. He knows his shit. Sounds like a robot half the time, but he knows his shit. Samoa Joe was great. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Of all the things on that show, that's the one thing that you needed to change. Unreal. Vince McMahon is absolutely done with Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. While speaking on He Who Shall Not Be Named's podcast on Fox Sports, you got, the guy with the fucked up emo haircut and the barber that I don't even think exists. You know that guy that loves to stalk, what's her name? Abella Danger at Whole Foods looking for organic squash, broccoli, green beans, sweet potatoes, celery, carrots, onions, potatoes. I don't know. What was she shopping for that day, clown? Huh? I'm sure you know. Anyway, moving on. I love to rag on him because he's a fucking loser. He's a loser. WWE Bobby Lashley was asked recently about the breakup of the Hurt Business. Let me go back a little bit. He was asked about the breakup of the Hurt Business. Lashley did not mince any words when it comes to his opinion about them splitting up. Lashley says it hurt his heart as it was something very special to him. He says, and I quote, "It hurt my heart. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but it hurt my heart because it was something very special. In the wrestling business, it's very seldom that a really special thing like that comes together where you can see that the energy and people really get behind it." And they were. But ultimately, business is business sometimes. And originally, the Hurt Business was started by MVP and myself. Then we brought in some people that really deserved the chance. Then they took it and ran with it. But the business is not over. End quote. Then a new report came out that discussed the future of both Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin, revealing that Vince McMahon is done with both guys. So Drew McIntyre Bobby Lashley defeated Drew McIntyre to retain the WWE Championship. According to Brian Alvarez, things aren't looking good for the former Hurt Business members. Speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, Alvarez explained that Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin are so low on the totem pole in the eyes of Vince McMahon, nothing, it appears, these two can do will save them, as Vince is done. He explains that things don't look bright for the former Hurt Business members. Alexander and Benjamin lost to the Viking Raiders in Ivar's return match to Raw. Neither competitor has won a match since retaining the Raw Tag Team Championships against Adam Pearce and Braun Strowman early last month. Also on Raw, Drew McIntyre was attacked by T-Bar and Mace With McIntyre challenging Lashley for the WWE title at WrestleMania Backlash, seems like the former Retribution members are forming an alliance with MVP and Bobby Lashley. So yes, Bobby Lashley is heartbroken that Cedric and Shelton are no longer in the Hurt Business, and he doesn't have the Hurt Business anymore. So Vince McMahon realizes that he's heartbroken, so he takes another failing faction and failing acts and puts them with Bobby Lashley and MVP. Kind of mixing the Hurt Business that he wanted to kill, Retribution, which he killed long before they became the Retribution that you see now, mixed them together, and he thinks this is going to be some merry band of fucking success on Monday Night Raw. Now, I'm going to reserve judgment. First of all, if WWE really wanted to change, then Dominik Dijakovic and Dio Madden would have been the ones to attack Drew McIntyre, shedding the Retribution bullshit that they were wearing, okay? Masks and attire and music, whatever the fuck they got. Get rid of it. But I'm going to reserve judgment. I'm going to give this a couple weeks. I know that's different from my normal mindset, but I'm going to give it a couple weeks. If this is T-Bar and Mace aligning with Bobby Lashley and MVP is going to take them from what Ali could not do, take their masks off, give them their old personas back, really make them a fucking great group, and replace Cedric and Shelton with Dominik Dijakovic and Dio Madden, who fit the bill for being in the Hurt Business, as their normal selves, then by all means, do it. But that's where it needs to go. They cannot stay as T-Bar, they cannot stay as Mace, and they can't have that dreadful attire. All the while, you could push Cedric and Shelton, keep them a relevant tag team in the tag team division, and then there's a nice story where Shelton and Cedric can battle eventually the team of Dominik Dijakovic and Dio Madden. Who's better, the former Hurt Business or the new Hurt Business? Maybe even include a tag team championship reign if you're at it. That's what needs to happen. They can't stay as T-Bar and Mace. But he's heartbroken. And why are you done with anybody? What type of mentality? You're paying these guys to be done with them? If you're done with them, let them go. Make them a part of the releases that we've seen this week. Let them go. Why are you employing them? If you're done with them, then you clearly got to replace somebody with them. Do you take pleasure in putting these guys on your show and making them mean nothing just to beat them because you're done with them? To beat them because you don't like them? Who does that? I don't know, man. I don't know. Show is absolutely an abomination. It really is. And finally, guys, Randy Orton, before we get out of here, slated to take substantial time away from WWE. Fightful Select further noted that there was never a plan given about how this situation would end with Wyatt and Orton. All those involved knew that Randy Orton was slated to get a good period of time off, whether he won or lost at WrestleMania. He was slated to lose. Wyatt was slated to win. And that would have probably facilitated Randy Orton taking time off of television, but they changed it from Randy Orton losing to Randy Orton winning, burying Bray Wyatt in the process, which made absolutely no sense, as they gave all the Fiend's powers to Alexa Bliss, and now Fiend is relatively no more, I guess. There was never a plan in order for a Firefly Funhouse match, and beyond that, many of those associated with the angle were never given an end game at any point prior to the weekend, outside of the fact that it would write Orton off the television for good, at least a good period of time, especially with this Wyatt storyline. Since Bray Wyatt didn't defeat Randy Orton at WrestleMania, then that makes us wonder if Randy Orton is not leaving television, but there is news slated that he's about to take substantial time away from WWE. Now, this might be an old article. Things might have changed. Randy Orton might be in plans. I don't know why you would take Randy Orton off of television when Monday Night Raw needs somebody like Randy Orton. You take him away, he's going to make an obvious difference being away in the show's quality, which right now doesn't exist. But I don't know if he stays or if he goes. If he lost to Wyatt, I could see him going. But he won. He was in the championship triple threat number one contenders match. He's against Braun Strowman on Monday night. Does he go away after Braun Strowman? What else is there left for Randy Orton to do on Monday night? Maybe he wants to take time off because he's literally done everything. He's not going to factor into plans. I'm not feuding with an irrelevant fucking guy on the roster. Everything about this show sucks. I don't know. says he's slated to take time off, so see what happens. Monday Night Raw should take time off from Mondays. Just go away. I could do without it for a couple of weeks, believe me. Anyway, man, I'm about to get out of here. If you enjoyed the podcast today, please hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Let's try for 1,200 likes on the video. If you missed any of the content this week, everything you need is linked down below in the description. Go check it out. Go check out AdvancedGG, advanced.gg. Use code SCRIPT at checkout for 10% off. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. That's Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button like I said. Go get your t-shirts, bonfire.com. That is the exclusive home of JD from New York and Off the Script. And go support via the Patreon page, patreon.com/JD from NY206. It was great to be back with you this weekend, guys. I will be back with a brand new week of WWE content, starting with Raw. Until then, guys, hit the thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you back after a nice day off on Sunday. And I'll see you guys next week right here for a brand new week of content on Off the Script. See you guys later.